The section of the book of Jeremiah that we're going to cover in this session can often appear confusing and confounding. It's most likely composed of different literary material representing different voices and different times. Yet the various themes interweave and overlap to create a truly artistic literary tapestry. This section presents a fascinating correlation between cosmic, natural, and human order. Israel's relationship to God is seen as a marriage, and Israel's apostasy, its failure to maintain covenant fidelity through the worship of other gods, is expressed as a form of harlotry. This harlotry, a form of sexual impurity, has an impact on the natural order in terms of the fertility of the land. Moreover, we're going to see the development of the theme of order to chaos, once again expressed as an invasion from the north, with all of the mythological allusions that we examined in the previous session. In the early days, God led the people of Israel through the chaos of the wilderness, yet the divine-human relationship was like a pristine love affair. Now, for the prophet, the current chaos of that divine-human relationship has both cosmic implications, a return to primordial chaos, but also implications for the natural order. Even more significant is Jeremiah's analysis of the social order, the complete apparatus of the Judean state, the king, the royal officials, priests and prophets. Jeremiah expresses what we're going to call a kind of delegitimization of the Judean state, which is ultimately held responsible for the covenant infidelity, the harlotry, and the ensuing chaos. As we'll see, this entire state apparatus must ultimately be eliminated before any reconciliation between God and the people can be undertaken. And so the book of Jeremiah begins to envision a return of the people to its covenant obligations, a vision of ultimate hope for the future. It will be interesting to see which elements of Judean social order are present in that vision of future hope, and which elements seem to be missing. Yet there's one more aspect of this section that we'll want to think about. As noted earlier, there seem to be different voices speaking in this section. It's often difficult to discern these different voices. Who's speaking? Jeremiah? God? It becomes a kind of dramatic dialogue, a kind of script for a play, but the names of the speakers have been removed. Nevertheless, we can definitely discern the voice of the prophet and the voice of God, even though at times it's difficult to discern exactly who is speaking. In either case, however, we see what the great Jewish thinker A.J. Heschel called pathos. The prophet feels for his people, suffers with their suffering. We'll also see God's pathos, God's grief and suffering, that is also a response to the suffering of the people. But remember, this suffering is all part of the plan. We must tear down before we build up.